A young monk approached the Buddha one morning, his heart laden with silent turmoil and untold despair. Bowing deeply, he whispered, "Blessed One, I am lost. Life seems like an endless void, and I see no purpose." The Buddha regarded him with kind eyes and gestured for him to sit under the shade of a tree. "Tell me," the Buddha said softly, "what is it you fear most when you feel that life lacks meaning?" The monk hesitated but confessed, "I fear being insignificant, as though my existence is a fleeting shadow among countless others." The Buddha listened, his expression calm, before speaking with gentle authority. "The shadow fears the light, yet it exists only because of the light. What does this teach you?" The monk looked at the ground, struggling to grasp the depth of the Buddha's words. "I do not understand, Blessed One," he admitted, his voice tinged with quiet shame. The Buddha motioned toward the stream nearby, its waters glistening under the morning sun. "Observe the stream," the Buddha instructed. "It flows without questioning its purpose. What do you see in its movement?" The monk studied the stream, noting the pebbles it carried and the life it nurtured as it meandered onward. "It sustains life without seeking recognition," the monk answered, his voice slow but thoughtful. The Buddha nodded, a faint smile gracing his serene face. "Exactly," he said. "It serves its purpose by simply being true to its nature." "But how can I be like the stream, Blessed One?" the monk asked, his eyes searching the Buddha's face for guidance. The Buddha paused, then spoke. "First, understand this: you are not separate from the stream, the tree, or the shadow. Your life is a thread in the vast tapestry of existence. To focus on significance is to forget the beauty of connection." The monk's furrowed brow began to relax as the Buddha continued. "Meaning is not an object to be sought but a seed to be nurtured through action. Reflect on this." The young monk grew quiet, contemplating the Buddha's teachings, though doubt still lingered in his heart. "But Blessed One, what if my actions fail to make a difference?" he asked, his voice trembling slightly. The Buddha's gaze softened further, and he reached down to pick up a fallen leaf. "This leaf," the Buddha began, "may seem insignificant to the tree now, yet it once shaded its roots. Its existence mattered, even for a moment. Can you see this truth?" The monk stared at the leaf, his heart slowly beginning to understand the profound simplicity of the Buddha's lesson. The Buddha placed the leaf back on the ground and continued, "To fear insignificance is to overlook the sacredness of each moment you live. Meaning arises when you live fully present, whether in joy or suffering." The monk felt a small ember of hope ignite within him, though questions still swirled in his mind. "Blessed One, if all is connected, how can my single life carry meaning in such vastness?" he asked earnestly. The Buddha pointed to a flock of birds flying overhead, their synchronized movement a wonder to behold. "Do you see the flock?" the Buddha asked, and the monk nodded. "Each bird's movement shapes the whole, yet no single bird controls the flight. Life's meaning, too, is shared, interwoven with all existence." The monk sat silently, his thoughts gradually aligning with the wisdom unfolding before him. The Buddha continued, "Ananda once asked me, as you do now, about the essence of meaning. I told him this: a lotus grows not by willing itself to be significant but by reaching for the light while rooted in the mud. Its beauty is its journey, not its destination." The monk raised his eyes to meet the Buddha's, feeling his heart lighten as understanding seeped in. "But Blessed One," the monk asked, "what if one's journey is marred by mistakes and missteps? Does that not tarnish its meaning?" The Buddha's expression remained serene as he replied, "The stream stumbles over rocks but still finds its course. Mistakes are not obstacles but part of the flow. To learn is to grow. To grow is to add depth to life's meaning." The monk's heart swelled with gratitude, though a final question lingered on his lips. "How can I begin to nurture this seed of meaning?" Blessed One?" he asked, his voice steady yet humble. The Buddha rose, motioning for the monk to follow as they walked toward a small sapling nearby. "Plant a seed," the Buddha said, placing a hand on the sapling's young leaves. "And tend to it with care. Meaning begins with action, no matter how small." The monk stared at the sapling, feeling a deep sense of clarity wash over him. "Thank you, Blessed One," he said, bowing low. "I will carry your teachings within my heart." The Buddha placed a hand on the monk's shoulder, his touch as light as a whisper. "And I will carry you in mine," the Buddha replied, his voice filled with infinite compassion. The monk left the garden, his steps steadier, his spirit uplifted, and the seeds of meaning beginning to take root within his soul. Another day, under the golden embrace of the rising sun, the Buddha sat beneath the grand shade of a Bodhi tree. Around him gathered disciples eager for wisdom, their faces lit with hope and curiosity. Among them was a farmer, his hands calloused from years of labor, his eyes shadowed by worry. Bowing deeply, the farmer spoke, "Blessed One, my life feels burdened. No matter how hard I toil, happiness evades me." The Buddha regarded him kindly and gestured for the farmer to sit. "Tell me," the Buddha asked, "what troubles your heart?" The farmer sighed, his voice tinged with despair. "I plow the fields, I plant the seeds, yet I feel no fulfillment in my labor." The Buddha nodded, understanding the weight of the farmer's words. "You see no reward in your actions, and so you question their worth," he stated gently. The farmer hesitated, then replied, "Yes, Blessed One. Is it not futile to toil when life feels hollow and unchanging?" The Buddha folded his hands, his voice steady and calm. "To see purpose only in reward is to overlook the essence of action itself. Actions grounded in intention carry their own meaning." The farmer furrowed his brow, confusion shadowing his expression. "But how can I find meaning in tasks that bring neither joy nor escape from hardship?" he asked earnestly. The Buddha gestured toward a bird perched on a nearby branch, its small wings gleaming in the sunlight. "Do you see the bird?" the Buddha inquired, and the farmer nodded. "Does it sing to gain approval or admiration, or simply because it is its nature to sing?" The farmer watched the bird, its gentle melody filling the still air, and pondered the Buddha's words. "Perhaps it sings because it must," the farmer said quietly, his voice tinged with uncertainty. The Buddha smiled, his gaze resting on the farmer. "Exactly. Like the bird, your purpose lies in the authenticity of your actions, not in their outcomes." The farmer looked to the earth, his thoughts deep and searching. "But Blessed One," he asked, "how do I ensure my actions are meaningful when I feel no connection to them?" The Buddha reached down, picking up a handful of soil and holding it out. "This soil carries the potential to nurture life. When you plant a seed, it is not the act alone but the care you give it that shapes its growth." The farmer watched as the Buddha let the soil fall, each grain slipping through his fingers. "Care transforms the mundane into the meaningful," the Buddha continued. "Even in hardship, your intention imbues your labor with purpose." The farmer's shoulders, once heavy with despair, began to lift as he absorbed the Buddha's words. Another disciple, inspired by the exchange, stepped forward and asked, "Blessed One, what if our intentions are misunderstood by others? Does this diminish their meaning?" The Buddha turned to him, his expression serene. "Meaning arises within the heart, not through the validation of others. A tree does not seek approval for the shade it offers." The disciple nodded, though a trace of doubt lingered. The Buddha continued, "When your actions stem from compassion and understanding, they resonate beyond the confines of perception. Like ripples in a pond, their impact extends in ways unseen." The group fell silent, the weight of the Buddha's wisdom settling in their hearts. The farmer raised his voice once more, tentative but determined. Blessed One, he said, how can I begin to act with the intention you speak of? When my burdens feel endless. The Buddha gazed at the farmer, his eyes filled with gentle resolve. Start by recognizing that each task, no matter how small, contributes to the whole. When you tend to the fields, you do not merely feed your family but sustain the balance of life itself. The farmer's eyes began to glisten with newfound clarity. His hands clasped tightly in gratitude. The Buddha pointed to the distant horizon, where the first light of dawn kissed the earth. Just as the sun rises each day without fail, so too must your actions align with the natural rhythm of existence. A young monk, silent until now, spoke up, his voice hesitant but curious. Blessed One, what if our actions, though well-intentioned, lead to unintended harm? How do we reconcile this? The Buddha turned to the monk, his tone unwavering. No path is free of obstacles. Yet sincerity of heart carries its own light. Learn from each step, for growth lies in understanding. The monk bowed his head, his question answered, and the Buddha's gaze returned to the group. To create meaning is not a singular effort but a continuous journey. It is woven into each choice you make and each moment you live. The disciples listened intently, their doubts easing as the Buddha's teachings resonated within them. The farmer, now at peace, bowed deeply and said, "Thank you, Blessed One. I will return to my fields with a renewed heart and purpose." The Buddha smiled, his presence radiant with compassion. Go with intention, and let your actions speak the truth of your spirit. As the disciples dispersed, the Buddha remained under the Bodhi tree, his heart as still and vast as the universe. The wisdom he imparted lingered in the air, a guiding light for all who sought meaning in their lives. Another day, the sun rose gently, casting its golden light across the riverbank where the Buddha sat in quiet meditation. As he opened his eyes, a wandering ascetic approached, his footsteps hesitant yet deliberate. Bowing deeply before the Buddha, the ascetic spoke, "Blessed One, I have heard your teachings on action, yet my heart remains empty despite my deeds." The Buddha gazed at him with understanding and said, "Sit with me by the river. Let us observe its flowing waters." The ascetic complied, his eyes following the currents that carried leaves and pebbles downstream in steady, endless motion. "What do you see in the river's movement?" the Buddha asked, his tone calm yet probing. The ascetic replied, "I see its purpose in nourishing life, yet it seems to have no desires or aims of its own." The Buddha nodded, a faint smile gracing his face. Indeed, the river flows because it is part of existence itself, inseparable from the world around it. The ascetic frowned slightly, his heart still heavy with questions. "Blessed One, does this mean meaning lies in surrendering to the flow of life without questioning?" he asked. The Buddha shook his head gently and replied, "To surrender is not to abandon. It is to embrace the truth that you are already part of life's wholeness." The ascetic remained silent, his thoughts wandering as the river's currents swirled. The Buddha continued, "Meaning begins within, in the realization that your existence is deeply intertwined with the existence of all beings." The ascetic raised his eyes, his gaze meeting the Buddha's as curiosity flickered in his expression. How can this inner realization transform emptiness into purpose? "Blessed One?" he asked. The Buddha gestured toward the trees lining the riverbank, their roots reaching deep into the earth while their branches reached upward. The tree stands rooted, yet it grows toward the light, offering shade and fruit without seeking acknowledgement, the Buddha explained. Its purpose is inherent in its existence, not in any external recognition. The ascetic pondered the Buddha's words, though doubt still lingered in his heart. "Blessed One, what if one's inner realization is clouded by pain and failure? Can meaning still emerge?" he asked. The Buddha leaned forward, picking up a stone from the riverbank. its surface worn smooth by the water's touch. This stone has been shaped by countless currents, yet it remains whole. Pain and failure, too, shape the self without diminishing its essence. The ascetic felt a stir of hope within him but raised one last question. Blessed One, how does one begin to see this wholeness and move beyond the emptiness that clouds the heart? The Buddha closed his eyes briefly, then opened them, his gaze filled with profound compassion. Meditate on the truth that each breath you take connects you to life itself. Begin with this awareness, and let it deepen. The ascetic bowed deeply, his heart lighter and his mind clearer as the Buddha's teachings settled within him. As he rose to depart, the Buddha spoke once more. Remember, you are not separate from the river, the tree, or the stone. To see this is to find meaning within. The ascetic walked away, his steps steady, his spirit uplifted, carrying the wisdom of the river in his soul. Thank you for watching. Buddha's teachings are always with you. Subscribe to our channel and we will see you in the next video.